Best advice for osteoporosis: prevention is the main information I would recommend. This is Dr. Margie Egan, just between you and me with Dr. Margie. This is my medical opinion, not medical advice. But what I would love to see is all of us, and when I say all of us, I'm saying women, that at age 25, which is around the age we hit peak bone mass, I would love all of us to get a bone mineral density to see what we achieved naturally. Now, I can tell you I am almost osteoporotic, and I have been that way since my mid-30s. So to me, that's telling me that my peak bone mass was probably not 100%. I probably only got to about 80% of peak bone mass. And that was due to many factors. My family history, I was a dancer, so I was way too thin in my teens, and also, wasn't eating good calcium and vitamin D. So I would love to have women get a bone mineral density at about age 25, because then they see where they are. And someone like me, knowing that I had only gotten 80% of my peak bone mass, really alerted to me in my 30s to really make sure I didn't start to lose more bone. And starting in menopause, which I went through early at age 47, you can lose a significant amount of bone every year for the first 5 years that you have no estrogen in your system. So this is in women who don't take hormones after menopause. They will have a significant drop off in their bone density in the first 5 years of menopause. Good calcium intake, 500 milligrams 3 times a day. You can't really take it all at once. You can, but your body only absorbs 500 milligrams at a time. So you'd be absorbing 500 and pooping out 1,000 milligrams. So it's best if you take it through the day, and that can be with food or supplements. And there's a lot of foods that have good calcium content in them, and I'll list that at the bottom of this video. The other thing is vitamin D. Vitamin D helps us absorb the calcium that we're taking in. Well, the problem is there's not a lot of foods that have vitamin D. Milk has some vitamin D. Cereals are fortified with vitamin D, but I can tell you I'm not a big cereal fan because of the carb content. We get vitamin D activated through the sunshine, but all of us are being told to wear SPF. While we're protecting our skin from skin cancer, we're decreasing the activation of vitamin D. And as a result, a lot of us have vitamin D deficiency. So I also love to see a vitamin D level in people, and would have people take a supplement anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 international units per day, available at your grocery store, Targets, CVS. Just make sure the brand says USDA, which is telling you that it's been certified and that you know that that's the amount that's in there. Long story short, osteoporosis. Best treatment, prevention. Once you've already lost bone mineral density, though, and you are at an osteoporotic range, you're at a very high risk of fracturing. And the example I used to give is if I was driving in a car with a friend who had a great bone density, and mine, which is almost osteoporotic, we'll just call it osteoporosis for now, and we got in a car accident, I'm more likely to break a bone before my friend would break a bone because my bones are not as strong. Once you have osteoporosis, there are many medications that can prevent further bone loss, and there's a few medications that actually can build bone back. Those are best talked about with either an endocrinologist or a rheumatologist, and they will go over all the medications with you on how to improve bone density. But the mainstay is always the calcium, the vitamin D, and that's throughout your whole life. And then I didn't mention exercise. And exercise, it's strength-bearing exercise. So for those of us who've never exercised, I usually would tell women to start out in a pool because that's easier on their joints. That is not considered weight-bearing exercise, but once you've gotten into that and gone from water aerobics to where you think you can do something with your own body weight out of the water, then you can start adding some light weights and slowly increase the weight that you're doing in order to improve your muscle mass, which muscle pulls on bones and makes the bones stronger. Last thing is, once you're osteoporotic, you have to watch the activities that you do. And I hate to say this, but if you're someone who's a horseback rider or horse jumper, or you like to do bungee jumping or jumping out of an airplane, skydiving, those are things you should not do when you have osteoporosis. But it doesn't mean you can't do your regular activities, dancing, swimming, running, skiing. I would say not skiing off cliffs and stuff like that. But if you're a good skier, you can still do the black diamonds and do bumps, but you just want to minimize the chances of falling. So that's one of those activities that you have a higher risk of falling that I would stay away from.